wish that we should play that sometime, the final countdown, but at the start of the show.
Broadcast live.
Yeah, or play closing time at the start of the show. That would make complete sense. We are live. I'm going to let it warm up a little bit here. Mark, Sam and I had a huge day, so we need some blessings from your side of the world. Give us the minute to win it. What do you got?
It is the minute to win it, coming from Tennessee, right into the living rooms of South Dakota and all over the world, hopefully. Thank you for being with us tonight. It's New Comic Book Wednesday, so hopefully get out to your shop and got the goods. Let us know what you're reading. We're going to tell you what we've been reading. Share your thoughts, though. We're happy to have you here tonight. Got football season coming up soon, so I know at Rainbow, if you're reading comics.
Very excited.
If you're reading comics and you're watching sports, you're in the right spot for sure.
Pick up some NFL Super Pro.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of people coming in for NFL cards right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Like we got the season's coming up, so a lot of people are well, and we have like a lot, like people are like heathens for collecting that stuff. Sometimes they gotta gotta get another one. And
Yeah.
I only spent $500. I can get another one. And I'm just like, okay, man.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that. That's how it is, though.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Good
All right.
time.
That was an amazing minute to win it, right on the dot there, you guys. A little tag team effort, a little collaboration. We encourage all of that here at A Comic Book Look, which, P.S., that's what we're tuned into today, you guys. Welcome to A Comic Book Look. It's your boy, John on Demand, a.k.a. Back in the Hat Club, looking so fly. Yes, sir. Taking flight today. It's New Comic Book Wednesday, Comic Book Sabbath, and joined by co-host extraordinaire Mark is joining us straight from the magical land of Tennessee, brother from another mother, great from another state, begging and boarding bad boy for days. And of course, we are joined by I keep calling you the newest hot rod on the lot because we just
technically I'm not the newest anymore. All right.
What? On the Comic Book Look lot.
That's true.
Yeah, you're still the baby of the team. You got many more shows to catch up to.
I'll take it.
And Tom. Yeah. So Tom may or may not be joining us tonight, you guys. So hopefully he'll pop on here. And we don't have a set itinerary tonight, but it's kind of a random week in books, so we wanted to just talk about that. With A Comic Book Look, we are proudly sponsored by Rainbow Comics. So if you're in the Sioux Falls area, stop by 42nd in Minnesota and say howdy, preferably Wednesday through Saturday, so you can see Sam and I's lovely mugs. Otherwise, if you're in the Lincoln, Nebraska area, stop by and say hi to Taylor and team as well. We're happy to help you out with your comic book needs. But kicking it off here, boys, how are we doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, I'm glad to finally sit down for a little bit.
Cheers to that. All right. Well, to kick things off, this just happened, and I was showing the boys this, but I wanted to lift it up on the show. I have a custom Funko Pop from the wedding. I'm so excited, and he's so cute. So looking good. I have a beard. I'm holding. This is from the wedding, so I'm holding the Spider-Man wedding issue, which is amazing. I love the tie-dye T-shirt, and he even put Ghost Rider behind me on that side too, and then on the back is just some of the wedding vows and stuff. So it's pretty fun. So Ken has one as well where he has his Stephen King balloon. It's delightful. So I'm very excited to finally have a box for this, and he will be proudly right in front there on amongst the other Funkos. So that is
You've made it.
I've made it.
Yep. That's how
Granted,
you know.
it's all custom made, but and right before Funko, I'm sure is gonna release the ability to make custom Funkos, but that's okay. I braved the journey. So
You can make a custom Funko.
What? Through
yeah,
Funko?
you can do that already.
Oh, already? Okay, I didn't know that was a thing. Well, I'll probably do that too then. We should do some for a comic book look.
Oh man.
There you go.
Bum, bum, bum. Truth bombs. Make a set of 4 for each of us. There you go.
I've found a way not to have any Funkos so far.
Wow.
I don't know how I've done that.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
sorry.
It's a guilty pleasure of mine. Not so guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mark, you might have a couple.
Yeah. Some open, some not open.
You.
Oh man. Well, cool. Mark, how was Comic Book Day out in your neck of the woods? Did you visit a couple of shops out there, or I know you have a few in your orbit that you like to check in on?
Yeah, I sometimes do that more on the weekends now. I just go to my one shop now, Everscape.
Cool.
It's in Manchester, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And then sometimes on the weekend, I'll venture out and go to like Outer Limits, Grand Adventures, Great Escape.
Yeah.
They're more close to like Nashville area.
Yeah. Yep. Now we just need to get you to venture out to Rainbow and Sioux
Oh, it'd
Falls.
be great.
Ooh, you've been there though.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, we'll go ahead and jump in here tonight. We're just gonna kind of do roulette and do our top 3 picks or books that we have in our hands right now. Personally, for me, my pickups were assorted with old and new. So some of mine I want to lift up. Probably won't be this week's stuff, but I'm excited to get into them. So, who wants to go first?
I think you do, Johnny.
I guess I do. That sounds like a wonderful idea. I did not have my books picked out between what I would actually talk about and not. But I will jump in here. This was a random find as I was processing backstock today, which PS I posted. We got over 1,000 new issues out into our inventory today. So shout out to Casey and Patrick for powering through those, and for John and Debbie for processing and pricing them. And I did the bagging and taping kind of thing. So it's just kind of this assembly line and straight to the end there. But one of the issues that I encountered was from Black Cat unexpectedly. This is the annual, and it's introducing the Tiger Division, which I adored that limited run that they did, and I did not know that they appeared here. So I was like, yeah, I'm in. I want to read this, and it's an additional cameo. To me, Tiger Division is like synonymous with like a Alpha Flight, Big Hero 6, just the international teams throughout the Marvel I love that stuff. And so I really miss the new Agents of Atlas, which had some notes of Tiger Division in there, but Tiger Division has truly a lot of new characters, and it was so enjoyable. So
Who are some of the new characters in that? Like, I still have no idea much about about Tiger Division.
I am terrible with names here. Okay, so first of all, the gal with cards I know is Lady Bright, and she's kind of like like Royal Flush Gang, like flying around and stuff on cards. It's kind of like that. Her power set is incredibly quirky, and I dig it. Let's see who else as I hold it up there like an idiot. We have, I believe, there should be. Sorry, it's like blurry AF here. Okay, there's a crazy like totem, a god totem. So he's actually
a god
totem. He's a god totem, literally.
He's a god totem.
He's like a totem. And so he's just kind of the big guy of the group, right?
He's a golem,
basically.
Okay.
And then we have. I am blanking on the leader's name right now. He's kind of like a superpower, basically, but like a Superman that was like given his powers through science. And then we have, I want to say I don't want to say Silver Fox. I don't know. I can look him up. I'm gonna Google this, you guys, because I am not doing that.
All right, I put you on the spot, Johnny. I didn't mean.
No, I have no idea because I read those forever ago. Oh, here we go. Lady Bright, Mr. Enigma, the General, and then White Fox is the character's name, Amy Han. And this is really cool because all of these characters are actually based for Korea in Marvel Universe, whereas New Agents of Atlas was all over the Far East. And so I actually kind of dig that they took the time to build a team like that. It's really quirky. I haven't read this. I don't know what Black Cat has to do with that whatsoever, or what would bring them to say, let's go hang out, with Felicia for a minute. We'll find out.
It's not a variant cover, is it? It's actually, they actually do team up in the issue?
Yeah, it says introducing. Yeah. So
maybe she's trying to steal something in Korea or something.
Yeah. So I thumbed through it, and I was just kind of curious more than anything, what the heck's going on here. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna read a little bit of it here just because I'm a little curious to see what the heck. Yep. There's panels of White Fox and Black Cat running side by side.
That's probably why they did it.
But
White Fox, Black Cat.
Yeah. So it was cool though. So I don't know. I think that this will be a fun segue. It's kind of annoying to me that I'm just meeting the book now because I already read the limited series and I think it was intended to meet them and then read the series. So I'm doing it out of order.
Go for?
What was it?
How long did that run go for, the Tiger Division?
That one was, I want to say 5-issue run.
That's about right.
And it kind of bummed me out because they had the one adventure with the big fight at the end and that's done. It's like, why? Just
No.
give them some more story. Let them
It's
run.
like that. It's like that recent Thunderbolts book. They had like 2 adventures and then they were done.
That was a snore for me. That was
The
a
eye
snore.
roll that Johnny just gave.
Like that
Dang.
Thunderbolts run is
Sorry,
right up there
man.
with the Loki discussion. It's right up there. I don't know, man. So Mark, did you, speaking of which, can we go on a tangent? Did you tell Mark about the variant cover that I wanted to have designed for you?
Oh no, but it needs to happen. That's
It
for
needs
sure.
to happen. So Mark, Sam loves Cyborg, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, if I ever got my hands on a blank variant of Cyborg, I would have it where like Sam's offering Cyborg a Kleenex for all of his problems and change it to Cryborg.
Just me handing him a tissue, going,
Yeah,
"It's gonna be all
yeah,
right, man.
yeah, it's gonna be all right.
You'll get that movie someday." Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah. So this. I apologize. This is kind of a rough introduction to the show with this book. I flew through the 5-issue run. I loved it, and it's been a minute though, and since then I've been reading a lot of like the other like Star Wars I've been catching up on, and soon it's back to X-Men land again. So it's kind of hard to keep track of everybody. So, but I am really
One of
excited.
the X-Men books that came out today, I think, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a couple, and I am kind of behind on that, like 3 months. So, anyways, that's my first pick. Over to you, Sam.
Can I ask a question before my
I'm scared.
run?
I'm scared.
So, am I wrong to assume
Yes.
that some people yes, I am wrong to assume in general, but am I wrong to think that people who read X-Men don't read a lot of other Marvel? Because X-Men is such its own thing sometimes.
It is.
So when I go off and like is like, hey, are you reading the Iron Man book? They're like, no.
Yeah.
Like they don't go like. There's not a lot of like X-Men fans read X-Men a lot of times.
Yeah.
Then of course there's gonna be like people who don't do that. But I think I've seen a lot of that where it's just X-Men like literally can be its own universe.
It's fair because that's exactly how I started reading. I was just X-Men, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get exposed to those other characters, through the books, and I branched out from there. Yeah, I would say based on what I see for buying patterns at the register, people that are really invested in it that's pretty much all they get, only because it's so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I do hear the comment a lot of just it can be overwhelming for people with how much right now. And X-Men's not always like that. It's just this Krakoa thing. It's got Marvel like spitting out 4 books a week. It's crazy, So
yeah, that was just me like
time
having,
right now.
like thinking out loud there. I was like, yo,
Yeah.
let people just mess with like X-Men. That's it.
Yeah.
Like there's some people who just mess with Spider-Man sometimes.
Yeah.
That's all they read from
Yeah.
Marvel. It's like Spider-Man books.
Yeah.
But that
No,
side tangent over, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So yeah, no, it's 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 a different world for sure, and I could see how it would encompass someone. I try to break it up a little bit, and if I'm getting something, I'll just let it build up and then crush it, and rinse, repeat. So it's my own design. So.
Well, I guess I'll do my first book then, and I didn't want to have a theme here, but I kind of have a theme here.
Uh-oh.
The first book I have is Night Terrors Detective 2. This one, I think, when it comes down to just making like kind of a book that's kind of scary, all these Night Terrors books are kind of like, oh, they just like to play into the characters' fears, and like that's cool canonically. But if you wanted to make like, we're making a scary book here, Detective is actually one of the, I think, is the better ones to do that. The first issue was all about like a Jim Gordon just like trying to understand like why he's like why he can't like do anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like he used to be so many things to so many people, but now he's just kind of a schlub PI, and like he's breaking as he's doing it, like he's shattering like glass, but he just doesn't want to give up. And like there's these weird like Lovecraftian like horror creatures that make deals with these people that are supposedly the good people of Gotham. And it's just really like, it feels kind of like a Lovecraft story. And that's for the first, like, it's interesting because you're not really expecting that out of like these Night Terrors books at this point. If you've been reading Night Terrors, you're kind of getting like character, personal like terrors, or just like basic stuff to like scare the character. But this is like pretty. It. I won't say I'm terrified from this book because it's still a DC book and they can't get too weird until it's like a Vertigo book or whatever. But it definitely kind of like, if I were to put these creatures that are being put on the screen, like in my real life, I probably would go insane because they're quite terrifying. Like visually, they're quite like terrifying looking. So if they actually exist, I'd be grab my pants, frankly. But this is a very well like made book that actually is pretty scary for a book that like a whole series that's mostly just kind of like Halloween town spooky, There you go. Yeah, that's my first choice at least.
Awesome.
Cool. I'm gonna go with Schlub here from Image Comics. This is issue number 1. It's really good. I say it's really good, but it's not anything really like fresh or new. It's kind of like a Freaky Friday situation where these two characters switch places. Obviously, you can tell the differences in the way they look there. Kind of reminded me of Nutty Professor when he turns into Buddy Love, but there's no transformation like that. It's more like body swapping. But it's just like your standard superhero book where he fights a villain, and then in the whole good versus evil come into play because like this guy was like a regular guy. Now he has these superpowers, and he's kind of got a lot of anger built up in him that he kind of like has like a rivalry with his brother, and he kind of wants to like take that out on him. So he's going to have to choose between good and evil. And then the superhero guy is like now like him. So he's like totally depowered. And I guess he's going to try to have to learn to live like that for a while. So still a good book though. Like I said, it's nothing that we haven't read before, but it does look really good. And Ryan Stegman actually wrote this, which he usually does the artwork.
He doesn't do the artwork on it?
I don't believe this was Stegman's art. I think he writes this. No, Tyrell Cannon actually did the artwork. But
that's crazy that he just went pure writer on that one.
Yeah, I thought he would have been when I saw his name, but he's not.
Heck yeah. I
made a joke with that book. I pointed to Casey or Patrick, and I was like, hey, they made a book about me.
Oh, man. Well, up next, again, I haven't read any of these yet, so I'm kind of excited to check it out. But this offering from Marvel, Star Wars Dr. Aphra, issue 35, but this retro style cover, making a parody of
that's cool.
The OG. Plus, my boys on the top left, 000 and BT1. Are hanging out there, and so I love the parody of this. And it's Dr. Aphra, and it's a dip into the Dark Droids event, which I have not read any of yet. So I am really, really excited for this one. And when I saw this cover and saw my boys on the cover, I'm like, duh, I have to get this particular one. So looking forward to that. And yeah, shout out to Marvel for the parody cover. I love it. So, boom.
I really think I really need to read some Dr. Aphra.
It is fun
because that's like the one Star Wars book that I'm like, I'd read that, and I keep seeing more about it, and I'm like,
yeah,
that would be kind of fun.
It's hard though because Volume 1, some of that stuff is spendy now.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, for me, I just jumped on and latched on for dear life. Volume 2 has been for me, but Volume 1 was fire. It was so great. Yeah.
Did that issue come out this year?
Which one?
The one you just showed, did that come out?
This just came out today.
Oh, it just came out today. Cool. I wasn't even sure if she was still ongoing.
Yep. And it's part of that Dark Droids event, so it's just dipping into first series, Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
Shout out to the Dark Droids. All right, Samuel.
My turn? All right, let's do this. So, more on theme for me. I didn't know this had a second issue.
Oh no! Dude.
So you best believe I'm going to read this now. I can't wait to be terrified.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, that's the art.
That's the stuff, huh?
Yeah, can't show that one. But this is this actually really scared me. The detective comics book could have scared me if it didn't have the filter of this also is for 13-year-olds, guys. Come on.
No.
This goes full wild with it, and me and my roommate both just fell in love with this story
Mm.
for reasons that differ. Mine was because it actually scared me a lot, and his was, oh, I love this, I need more of this. It's
Mm.
like, so, but yeah, it's I can't wait to read this and get chills when I do it, because I hope it's as scary as the first one, because I don't know really what the story will go after with it. But I
I,
can't wait for this one. Should
I
be reading
expect
this
a
year.
detailed report as to which one was
Yeah,
scarier and why.
probably the first one, because now I'm expecting it.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's fair.
The first one caught you off guard.
yeah. I genuinely didn't know what I was reading, so I was like, ooh, okay.
No.
This one, I'm prepared to see some stuff.
Boom.
Well, cool. I got the Immortal Thor, which I'm sure a lot of people are picking that one up.
Yeah.
I fell off the last run of Thor's, but I felt like this, if you'd never ever read Thor before, I felt like this was just a good comic that's just very jump on friendly.
Mm.
Just really solid. You could tell there's a lot of quality going into this book, a lot of depth going into this book. So I'd like to see where it goes from here. But it was a good first issue though.
Why is it called Immortal? Do you know?
I think because Al Ewing, who wrote Immortal Hulk, was so successful with that, they're like, can you please do that with Thor?
But like, how does that relate to Immortal Hulk then?
It doesn't, other than Al Ewing wrote it.
Okay, so that's just his insignia or something?
think so,
Like-
yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
think
Like, I was
just
just
that-
trying to figure out, like, how does Thor? have
Yeah,
anything to do
I'm
with this?
guessing. And maybe as the story goes on, it'll make more sense as being the immortal Thor. But
Thor goes through the green door.
yeah, that'd be a story.
All right. With my last book here, I actually had 2 honorable mentions I just wanted to chuck up there. First of all, I love me some Archie horror. And so Strange Science came out. I'm so excited to read this, but I am going to read all the Archie horror that I have in one fall swoop just to get the full experience. And I have quite a bit of it. And so I'm so excited to dig into that. But I also wanted to give cover honorable mention to Power Ranger Darkest Hour with a zombified Pink Ranger, sorry. So it's so creepy, but like that is the creepiest thing ever. And I'm like, I adore this cover so much. And so I saw it and I was like, oh yeah, I remember seeing the ad for that. And so I'm excited about that. But my third book that I'm really, really pumped to get into here is actually from a couple of weeks ago, but Jeff Lemire's Fish Flies, issue number 1. Compared to Sweet Tooth, which I read the whole compendium plus the additional material. Love the show on Netflix. And so I'm like, I'm in. Like, let's go. And there was a free comic book day offering. I haven't had a chance to read that yet, but I'll probably check that out first before jumping into this. Even if it's duplicate material, it's fine. I just want the full experience. So,
Very cool.
yeah.
I've never seen a Power Ranger zombify. That was like a
Yeah, that's actually pretty hardcore.
Isn't
for the
that
Power
crazy?
Rangers.
yeah.
Dude, I mean, poor Kimberly. Bruh. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on there because I'm like 20 issues behind right now in Power Rangers. It's not good. But, oh, man. Anyways, Sam.
Well, you just let me know when there's the Mystic Force Comic Rangers comic book comes out. Then I'm in.
Then you're in. All right.
All right. My third book is not as scary. This is what I would call as Halloween Town scary. This is Moon Knight City of the Dead 2.
Ooh.
It deals with like Moon Knight is trying to go save this little boy. His soul is lost, and so he goes into the city of the dead, the Egyptian city of the dead, and he the first issue is him. He meets, I believe her name is the Scarlet Scarab.
Yep.
I think she was in the show. That's her first appearance. I think in the comics was the first issue of this.
Yes. Yep.
But this is the second one. It's just basically picking up with more like Moon Knight cracking skulls, and honestly, like I've said this about a million times, but if you are a Moon Knight fan, this is the best time to be a Moon Knight fan because he's got his ongoing book. It's at 26 issues. I don't think it's stopping soon. Now he's getting a second one here. Recently we had that Moon Knight Red, Black, White, and Blood one, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Like we had that. Like there's a lot of Moon Knight right now, and if you are a fan of the character like I am, it's a good time. You should be reading because this is really good stuff right now. This book and the other book as well.
Awesome.
Very
I'm
cool.
Why is
biased.
that?
I love that pick, so I
Yeah,
dig
it's
it.
it's a good book. Can't wait to read
Yeah.
the second one here.
All
You're right.
right.
There is a lot of Moon Knight going on right
Yeah,
now.
like just there's a lot of Moon Knight, and if you like that character, you're gonna be in good luck. It's like when Deadpool was really popular like 7 years ago. Like there was like Deadpool book, Deadpool book, Deadpool book, Deadpool book.
Yeah. Man.
Who can we put Deadpool against now?
Yeah.
Have we done that with Cable yet? Who do it again? Who cares?
Oh, on the Deadpool note, by the way, the same guy that made that Funko, Mark, he made a Funko for the Starbucks cup that appeared in Game of Thrones as a parody, so it's not for sale. And he just dropped one off that's Deadpool, but with his mask off with Hugh Jackman's face on. So it's like a total parody one, and it's
I thought that
brilliant.
was actual. That was an
Really cool.
actual Funko.
Nope, that's another one that he did.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, because he asked me, he's like, "How's Deadpool been doing?" I'm like, and I was just like I was filing comics, so I was like, "Good, I think," and I didn't know what he was talking about. And then he was like, "No, the one I brought in." I'm like, "I didn't know that you brought one in because I wasn't here until today." So I was like, "Wow." So that was I was kind of a dork on that. So I told him, I'm like, "Sorry, I'm an idiot," but it's hilarious though because yeah, we have the GameStop stock piece of paper, so that's a parody one. The Starbucks cup from Game of Thrones, toilet paper in honor of the pandemic, and then now we have Deadpool
Yeah,
with
that-
Hugh Jackman's face. It's so great. And then they're just all marked not for sale because they're not.
Yeah. And these are at Rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So always
cool.
enjoyable. Customers get a kick out of them.
Mm.
Cool. Who was next? Mark?
It'd be Mark next.
Mark.
Cool. Got Marvel Unleashed. This is issue number 1. Going to be a 4-part miniseries. Probably my favorite writer right now. Kyle Stark's writing this. And this is a good issue right here. Lockjaw is like captured by Craven, who's working for Mephisto's son, Blackheart. And then like all of the Marvel Universe pets are all going to like unite together. And it's like super heroic. And they're like, who can we recruit here to like stop Blackheart? So like Throg is like the probably the most powerful of them all. And spoiler alert, oh, this is cool, but it's just Throg chilling right
Just
there.
chilling. Yeah.
Throg.
You can't do it without Throg.
Yeah. But it's a good first issue for sure.
That's
Surprised
awesome.
they didn't get Colin Bunn to write that
Yeah, I could see that.
because he wrote Monsters Unleashed.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm surprised they didn't get Colin Bunn to do that.
He's writing a ton of indie horror right now. So I don't know,
I
maybe
mean,
he's
he's his horror
That's
books
cool.
are really good.
yeah.
Heck yeah. Well,
That is
awesome.
funny. Like a guy who writes all this horror books wrote Monsters Unleashed too.
Oh yeah.
The most like we are here to do some peachy fun book out of Marvel because that was right after Secret Empire. So
Yep.
so they're like, okay, let's like chill. Let's do a fun about monsters.
Secret
About
Empire.
I think that was a memorable event. It
Yeah.
wasn't like the best, but it's memorable. Like everybody
Yeah.
remembers.
Yeah.
I mean, it showed all the monsters. Like people like monsters, so that's why it's like that's why it was liked.
Yeah. And we're talking about Secret Empire as well.
Oh, that
Yeah. But
my
both.
favorite Marvel event.
Really?
Yep, it's a like compared. Some people say it's a bit of another spicy take, but I loved that story
Here we go.
because it was so. It got me to read a lot of Captain America stories because people
Yeah.
were like up in arms about it and whatever. But that was I can understand some agitation towards that, but it was really cool how they did it and how if you make a man who like Steve, who's like so with his principles and so pure of a character. And go like, what if he genuinely thought Hydra was the good guys here? Like, and like he actually made an honorable Hydra, which is a weird thing to say, but like he got rid of Red Skull. He got rid of all these weirdos and like who were like trying to like make it with what he didn't think it was. Like he made like I don't know, like that was a really cool event, and Steve-O needs to come back. I need him back because he was my favorite villain. They have not used him since, and I really loved it. I have it all combined. I read it like once every 2 years because I love it that
Wow.
much.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
reminded me of when Hulk Hogan joined the NWO and became Hollywood Hulk Hogan and dyed his beard black. And I don't know if you followed wrestling at all.
I know about Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Though.
Yeah, it's kind of the same type.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He goes like, "All right, time to go bad a little bit."
It was.
I loved that event. It was so fun. It was, it had a lot of characters and like it used a lot of the characters that were just been recently made. A lot of characters that didn't get a lot of love before. Got a lot of press. There's some weird things in there. There was AI Tony who was drunk half the time.
Yeah.
I don't know how that worked, but it was something that happened in that. There was a really important part that was in a side book about a character barfing up a part of a cosmic cube shard. That was in there. I know it's weird, but there was a lot of really cool events. Basically, like, what if it just goes off to tell you, hey, if Captain America was bad, we'd be in rough shape.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's the same thing with like the Superman. Like everybody was so intrigued by evil Superman. And it's just like, well, it's because it's scary to see that. And like, yeah, I love Secret Empire. And I'll probably talk way more about that. So I should just hush up about that. Thing here. I love that series.
Yeah.
It's fun to hear you reflect on Marvel too, because you're definitely, in my book, definitely more leaning DC.
I started Marvel. That's where I started.
Yeah.
One of my favorite characters before I got into comics was Black Knight.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, like I like that.
From the Avengers run
series of his was that was fun.
You read the side series of his?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've read like all the newer Black Knight stuff I've read.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cool. Sam at work was mentioning that I should probably lift up the craziness that occurred this weekend. And so I have been rapidly just throwing some pictures in a folder here. And so I'll do a quick screen share. This is complete chaos, you guys. This was probably the craziest thing I've ever done. But for the new stream coming up this fall, we did a video shoot, and so I just wanted to show off some visual aid here. So these are kind of some candids snapped by my friend Sean, and so just wanted to show off kind of what we were working with for the environment. You'll see Sam over here,
so hunched over,
and Tom just hanging out there. Mark was with us in spirit, but it was just such a good layout. Tom drew this.
That was so cool,
lifting up the whole stream, Comics by Night. So shout out to Tom for that. And he did a really good job with it. I did some floral arrangements, which is crazy, and it had like Venus flytraps in it, and it was super cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. They have a beautiful brass wall at the venue that just looked amazing. And I definitely enjoyed the heck out of it. There's another one of Sam and Tom. Good stuff. There's me with the candelabra. So there were some story elements to all of this, including me entering the dining room and having everyone stand up. And I had my chair pulled out for me and pushed back in when I was sitting down, and very, very humbling experience. And then that's like the whole posse at the table. Got some candles going. It was just a really good time, though. Good energy with the projects. Tom and Sam had a moment, so they did the linking arms and drinking.
It was the first time I've ever done that, by the way. I was like, oh God, don't
hilarious.
Screw this
up. It was great. So that is just kind of a look at that, and more to come on that. If you guys are interested in more info and more deets on how the shoot went, definitely tune in to Comics by Night, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I'll be posting some more stills as we get closer to launch date, which is in October. Also probably sponsored by Rainbow Comics, so be a good time.
Which is just a month away, basically.
Yeah, that don't remind me. It's gonna be a lot. So yeah, it'll be a good time, and I'm really excited to rock and roll there. And then depending on how technology serves us and everything, I'm actually interested in seeing about doing a video for a comic book look too. So we'll see how that goes. It'll be amazing. But with that, my friend James is tuning in here. Hey, James, good evening to you as well. And thank you so much for tuning in through YouTube. John was serving looks in that photo shoot. Sure, I guess. I try my best. But everybody showed up. It was crazy, the amount of effort everyone put into their costumes. It was fun, and it just gelled well, and it was just really good energy in the room. And I couldn't have asked for a better shoot. So I was really happy with that. In total, we got everything done, I want to say, in like 3 hours when we started rolling. Yeah, so they were Casey and Sam from Screams from the Basement podcast, which check them out, worked incredibly fast, and I'm excited to see the finished product. So yeah. So that's that. Am I forgetting anything else?
Nothing that I'm thinking about personally.
Okay. Or is there anything else that you guys wanted to lift up?
Nothing right now, at least.
And that's A-okay. You guys, we the three of us were talking, and we were like, we don't really have a topic tonight, so we'll just talk books, because that's what we do here at a comic book look, is we look at our comics and read them, which I need to get better at. But we will be having some more guests coming up in the next couple of weeks. And shout out to Winston again for a great show last week. If you guys missed it, tune in. It was a fun interview. And just a really great time with a great person. So we're very honored to have guests come on to our show, and he was amazing. So, but I guess we'll shut it down here, and I'm gonna go file some comics and put my Funko self away, so it's not on top of my comics here. But I hope everyone has an awesome week in comics. Again, just to recap, we are Comic Book Look, proudly sponsored by Rainbow Comics. So if you're in the Sioux Falls area, stop by Rainbow on 42nd in Minnesota, preferably Wednesday through Saturday, so you can see Sam and I's beautiful mugs in person. If you're in the Lincoln, Nebraska area, stop by and see Team Rainbow down there, and that's with Taylor and team. And they are awesome and will help you out with your comic book needs. Until next time, I am @John on Demand. We have @Noelman12 on the TikToks doing amazing comic book reviews, and then @Mark C. Shelton 1 on the Twitters, and then similar on Instagram. I'll get it right one of these years. Oh my gosh, X. Oh, that's right. It's not Twitter anymore.
It's on X now.
That's right. Shout out to that, I guess. I don't know. But we'll be back next week, and everyone have a great week in comics. And when we wrap up an episode, I say keep it comics, and then Mark drops it with
bagging and boarding's never born.
Boom. And we'll see you guys.